Okay, is it recording? Hi. I may not have shown that we finished page 6, but there's the last two panels, so we did finish page 6. But I finished it within seconds after I cut the video off. But here's my problem, is I don't have any of these other pages ready to go. I have an outline of 7, 8, and 9, so we're going to start with that. And let me get to my outline and take a look. Let's start out with a border. Now I'm only going to get to roughing things, so, you know, when I say this is, we're going to draw a page, or hopefully draw a page, we may not be showing much. But let's go ahead and go. I've been feeling like I wasn't sure what was coming next in the story, and the reason is I was really at a chapter break. And when you're at a chapter break, there's so many different like choices that you can make in a story. And you got to settle on a path, otherwise you end up in a state of analysis paralysis, right? Where you're not sure what's going to happen. But you got to choose at some point. Now the idea I had was, I think this is a 5-panel page, including a wide shot. So what we could do, I want to do a wide shot on the second panel, which is really important to... I could do a, here's what I could do. We do our wide panel. Oops. It's okay, this is all just rough pencils. Let's do an inset panel. Okay. And in the inset panel, it's going to be aura. No, flying as if to escape. She's got to be talking to herself too. We want to get some lore, you know, of the world. Established. This is supposed to be a flying shot. I don't know if I'm making. I might have to. Some reference for it. I'm trying to do this without reference. Part of me wants to have her in energy form. Just take off the lower half of her body and just have her just sort of swoosh, you know? And then we're going to have her appear on the surface. See, they put her off in another cave where she's supposed to get confused and hopefully just fly home. Oh, I can't erase that line. So I've got to do an outdoor shot of the jungle. With Aura kind of bursting up out of the ground because she's an energy form. She has the ability to phase through walls and things. Fly. I want to keep her about this size. I could make her smaller. It would be more of an epic shot to make her smaller. But it would be less detail on her. Make her a little smaller. And we can kind of resize all we want at this stage because it's just the rough stage. You know, we're not getting to the point of doing details yet. She has some big... Well, she's Greek, so she's got big thighs. Okay, let's see. No offense, you Greek ladies. Let's see. Okay, boom boom. She flies up and out. Panel 1, panel 2. So, where can I go? And she's got to make a decision to stay. And I have this as one panel, but it might actually end up being 2. The idea was, the thought has to cross her mind that she could leave. Corbeau's captured, not her. She doesn't have to stay. Let's do like a close-up shot of her thinking about it. It'll show some kind of conflict, so like an inner conflict. So I think that's important for the story. It's because it helps us develop the idea of this relationship between the characters. And we'll even do the classic finger in front of the lips as if she's thinking about it. And I don't know if I went too big or if I went not big enough on this panel. One thing I do want to do, I think it's too straight up and down, is cant it. Just a little bit. And you know what? I think that I did the finger wrong. Here we go. But then she makes a decision, right? So we could do the decision in a flashback panel. So we might use wavy lines. I might actually replace these little wavy lines. And it's a reenactment of the moment. So this is the whole reason this whole panel exists. Is we're taking a situation that has already taken place and reversing it. What happened is originally Not on this panel. In issue 2, not on this panel either. Is it this one? In this panel, right here, was Corbeau rescuing her. This is how I used to draw her. She's not a whole lot different. So, I've got to figure out a way to re-show that like it's a flashback sequence. So let's do that. A flashback sequence of this thing. I almost want to use this setup here. I think it's a good panel idea. So let's do this. We'll put it in the reference section. There's my panel. Done. Save to photos. And get back to the current comic. Bring it back. Canvas, reference, image, import. And there it is. So we want something like that. So she gets to literally imagine what would happen if the roles were reversed. Most Titans, with a couple of exceptions, are not exactly good guys. So there's, you know, when you look at Stardust, Starlock, etc., Van Ruin, they're all pretty villainous. Prometheus is a little different, and Aura's a little different. But I think Aura would be could go either way, you know. Maybe we put his hand up on the glass here. How does that look? Wrong hand, but it would be this hand. Taking too much real estate with his figure, so what we're going to do is we're going to push him back a little bit. Something like that. And then have her even put her hands against the glass here as well. I don't know if I can get away with that, so she has the ability also to manipulate radio waves. That was how she was communicating when she was trapped. She was using her energy form to manipulate the radio. And I haven't written the dialogue yet, but it'll be something like, well, he would have done that for me. Alright, so we're going to put that over there. Maybe it's a little smaller. That's a parable hand. Yeah, it's beginning. Okay. It's a beginning. We're definitely there's gonna be more drawing. Alright, so that's 1, 2, 3. I'm a little worried about this creating a tangent, this side of the tube there, so we'll have to figure something out about that. Alright. Panel 4. She has to make a decision. Panel 5. Where she finds the antenna to the portal. So once again, this is my philosophy. Now, I don't know if everybody agrees with me, but I'm just going to tell you what it is. I never line up. If you have a split panel, don't just split it right down the middle for 2. You put one panel here, and just, even if it's your offsetting just by just a tiny bit, in this case a little tiny bit, make sure that they are just offset a little bit. And even better is if the offset is on the other side, so it's like this is the small panel and then this is the small panel. So I might actually move it. Maybe I can move it to the middle. I can move this to the middle. You think? It really depends. You want the bigger panels to be the bigger moments in the script so that, you know. And also, I don't want to do a talking heads thing. I use the same size figure, so I'm either going to go way bigger or much smaller. And I've already got, I went medium, little, biggish, smaller. I need to go even closer, right? Even bigger. And I want look of determination, right? So we want to get. Also, you'll notice she's looking this direction when she's considering, and then she's looking this way when she gets determination. It gives you the idea that a decision has been made, right? Now, here's my problem. We got to get under this fist to do the fingers, and I always have trouble with this. So, the best I can say is that I've learned when it's a problem rather than just drawing it as the problem. So I might have to reference the hand as well. Ah, I'm doing it wrong. Erase. Okay. Okay. And all of this, of course, could change by the time we start drawing it in a little bit more detailed. Look of determination. It's kind of the angry eyes, but closed mouth, set mouth. All right. If you clicked on this video thinking, I'm going to get to see some really nice drawing here, that's not what's going to happen in the roughs, unfortunately. We're going to go as quickly as possible. So that we see the, there we go. Alright. Now I might have made her eyes a little too big. Those might be a little bit too anime eyes. Let's wait. Okay, something like this. One shoulder. That's a good start. That's a good start. Okay, when we're checking for size, we want the size to keep changing. By the time you get to your 5th panel, if you have to repeat a size from panels 1 or 2, or in this case 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we're on the 6th panel, I think it's okay at that point, but you want to be real careful about repeating the size of your figures. Alright, final panel is when she spots something. So we could do it over the shoulder as she's flying around. And I haven't really planned out what this thing is supposed to be, but it's supposed to be like an antenna for this dimensional gateway. After they and then maybe I'll make a better design, but it's hidden in the jungle. She notices it. And she decides to investigate. She's going to phase through the earth to go take on Ape Legion, which is down below. So their problem to get rid of her by just letting her go. Their solution, rather. Will not be a success. Looking at my proportions, which are not great. But, you know, hey, bring back illustration. A little wisp of energy. An ear. And at this point, like, I can go through and I can just tighten it and tighten it, tighten it, tighten it up. And then we throw another layer on top, and then we start to add details. But that's our page 7. So, took us, what, 24 minutes to do that? You get to see a little bit of the process that goes behind a page like this. Because we're at the beginning of a new chapter, I feel like I have a little bit more energy and a little bit more freshness, a good fresh take on this. So I'm feeling pretty good about it. And I'm going to figure out what to do with this cube or whatever I'm going to put the antenna in. Cables maybe on the ground. Something like that. After this is refined a bit, we put dialogue in, and then we're going to go in and ink. So that's page 7 roughed. Please like and follow and subscribe, and there will be more later. Talk to you later.